You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back. Rodrance for Black and White Sports. Well, let's talk about a bunch of drama that has went on during the Monday Night Football season. Nobody knew upon the entry of Joe Buck and the subject of this video, Troy Aikman, because there was quite the turnover behind the scenes. And there's some accusations in here against Troy Aikman that, in my opinion, is sort of an attack on his work ethic. Okay, there's talking about people are talking about Troy Aikman not being locked in for Monday Night Football. Now, I'm going to give you my complete honest opinion. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman and that Fox afternoon game of the week window, if I'm just being real, the production, the overall value of it just felt a lot bigger, okay? Look, Monday Night Football did feel bigger with Troy and Joe on it, but the point is the overall production and what was given as a product to the public just felt like a better product than even this Monday Night Football product that ESPN trolled out there for everybody. Again, they absolutely brought something to that broadcast. And it did. Monday Night Football did feel bigger, but that Fox game of the week just felt even bigger, kind of the biggest game of the week every single week with Troy and Joe Buck involved. So we're going to peel back the curtains here because truly there's some insinuations here that Troy Aikman is dumb, that Troy Aikman was throwing a fit, and some people lost their jobs that had been there a long time. And some things about him not being present to get prepared to do Monday Night Football. And these people are pissed because obviously they lost their job. But, you know, if he's coming from a program, a game of the week, that he feels like was a better production, and if that's Troy's feeling, like that Fox game of the week, if he felt like that was a better production and it could be done better, I've got no issues with Troy Aikman, wanting that show, even Monday Night Football, to elevate. Because let's be real, ESPN had de-elevated that product over the years. They truly have. It finally is making its way back to ABC pretty regularly now. This is Breitbart. ESPN insider Troy Aikman... ESPN insiders rip Troy Aikman as Monday Night Football broadcast is revamped. ESPN insiders are calling foul on Troy Aikman's behavior as the cable sports network fires several staffers in a shakeup of the broadcast team. This week, ESPN announced that Monday Night Football director Jimmy Platt and producer Phil Dean were being replaced by Derek Mobley and Steve Ackles. Still, the switcheroo has caused some hard feelings behind the scenes, according to Awful Announcing. And there is the announcement. ESPN is making changes as Barrett Sports to its crew for Monday Night Football and college football broadcast. And it goes on to congratulate the two guys that got promoted. Quote, "It all started week 1, the site reported. He was dogging the crew and gear on the air when he couldn't figure his telestrator out." This is the part that's odd because, look, we know Troy Aikman is not a dumb dude. And so whatever he was using, I guess, didn't come across as very user-friendly, at least in comparison to Fox. He couldn't figure it out because he shows up on game day. He didn't practice. So before halftime, our director had already gotten operations to call someone at Fox to find out exactly what model he had used for years prior and have it shipped in for the next game. The insiders did not blame Platt and Dean's firing on Aikman, but it was reported, quote, Aikman wanted a different producer. In fact, ESPN had claimed that Stephanie Drewley, ESPN's head of studio and event production, made the decision. Regardless, crew members are not big fans of Aikman. So evidently, maybe he did not care for them too much. And it's clear they didn't like Troy. Another insider reportedly blasted Aikman for remaining aloof from the crew and coming and going without talking to them or preparing them for broadcast. Quote, Troy travels on his private jet on Monday mornings and flies home after the game. Well, he is the former quarterback of America's team, so there's that, and a Hall of Famer. The source added he could not be further removed from the crew, and I would confidently say that he knows maybe 10 people on a crew of 150 plus. You know what would be beneficial in a story like this? To hear from the behind the scenes of people that were involved with that Fox production and Troy Aikman, to see if now he had been there forever, so I don't know, but maybe, just maybe, and we don't know this for sure, was his ability to fly in and out, was that part of the agreement going in? Because it may have been for them to land Aikman. ESPN has been desperate for the big two all these years. And they probably, in all honesty, were about willing to do anything to get Joe Buck and Aikman in the booth. Another insider continued, saying Aikman, quote, never came to a camera meeting, no crew outings, nothing. You'd think someone who is going into a long-term big money contract at a new network would come in and try to make it a home. Not at all. What do they mean by crew outings? Hey, Troy, we're all going to the zoo. Do you want to come? No, because, I've got stuff to do. I'm busy. That's a little weird to me. Aikman was eclipsed only by Tony Romo as the highest paid sports broadcaster in the world back in 2020. Aikman got himself in trouble with some fans last year, too, when he told the NFL to man up and take off the dresses and reform the roughing the passer rules. Well, the roughing the passer rules in the NFL are utterly disgusting and terrible, okay? They have greatly impacted a lot of football games, including, if I remember correctly, Chris Jones, Kansas City Raiders game, Monday Night Football, and that was the game. It was a big story, actually, because, as you can imagine, when he used the quote, man up and take off the dresses, all the wokes lost their ever-loving mind, and Troy Aikman was entered in for cancellation. That's how that worked, and that became a big story for about 10 days, and Troy ultimately came out and bent the knee when he should have come out and just said, all of you, go F yourself. They need to pull off the dresses and start playing football again. I mean, it is what it is. If Troy feels that way, stick by it, dude. Stick by it. I like Troy Aikman a lot. I do. Maybe it's just me. I know a lot of people have tried to elevate Greg Olsen. He's done this sort of media tour. I may take some hate for this, but Greg Olsen feels like a number 2 to me. He just does. I guess I don't see the greatness in him. I think Kevin Burkhardt is pretty good. But there was when I tuned in, Fox Game of the Week, every week, especially when they were doing games, NFC East, Cowboys, Giants, Eagles, 49er Packer games, it felt smaller because there was no Joe Buck and no Troy Aikman. Right, wrong, or indifferent, Troy, Joe Buck show up, ratings go up, you get the point. It seems like there is some real heavyweight value to having Troy Aikman involved. We don't know what his deal entails, and I'm a little weirded out by he didn't go on crew outings with us. Well, hey, we came into the town. Everybody wants to go to the Statue of Liberty. Troy's like, okay, I've been there 4 times. I don't want to go. Have a nice day. This is a business, all right? At the end of the day, it is a business, and I get you want to try to connect with folks. But I'm sure Troy is thinking, look, I'm going to be here for 20 years. We will all sort of figure this out, and the camaraderie will come out of that over the years. Yeah, walking in the door, Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are the new folks. And look, a lot of times when you walk into a new place, because I experienced this when I worked corporate, you walk into a new place, everybody gives you the fuzzy eyeball. It just is what it is. That's par for the course. And I have a feeling Aikman saw value in some better producers. And, of course, the ones that got fired are pissed. That's the way of the business world. It is what it is. And I don't know if I just overly trust anybody that's been with ESPN for a long time at this point. I mean, just being real. Tell me what you think. A lot of bad-mouthing of the former Hall of Fame quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know about this. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.